Picture this: you're sitting in a dimly lit CAF, surrounded by people who judge you based on your appearance, your worn-out clothes, tired eyes, and silence. They laugh, mock, and whisper about you, not realizing you're far more than what they perceive. To them, you're just another homeless man who somehow wandered into their midst, someone they can easily ignore. But you know better than anyone, perception can be a deadly game, and they have no idea who they're dealing with. This man, once homeless and forgotten by society, now holds within him a secret that could shake the very foundations of the world. With a past shrouded in mystery and a fortune hidden in plain sight, he's about to make his presence known. What's more, his journey from the streets to wealth isn't just a story of survival, it's a tale intertwined with the harsh realities of racism abroad. The group of strangers around him, oblivious to the man's true identity, gathers to discuss a sensitive topic: racism in foreign lands. They argue about their personal experiences, their biases, and their theories on how racism manifests across different cultures. The man listens, his face calm, his eyes sharp. He doesn't speak immediately, but his silence is more powerful than their words. They think they know what racism looks like. They think they understand it because they've seen it in the news, on social media, or heard it from their friends. But they haven't seen it from his perspective. As the conversation grows heated, he finally speaks. His voice is calm but filled with an intensity that silences the room. "You have no idea what racism abroad really looks like," he says. They laugh, dismissing him, assuming it's just the ramblings of a lonely soul who has been through too much. But they couldn't be further from the truth. He begins with his story that no one saw coming. How he was once a penniless wanderer, rejected by society, forced to survive in the shadows. He talks about the places he's been, the countries that seem welcoming on the surface but harbor deep, dark secrets beneath. As he speaks, the group starts to pay attention. His words cut through their comfortable assumptions, exposing the hidden horrors of racism in places they had once considered free from such issues. His knowledge of these foreign lands comes not from books or documentaries, but from the deep, painful truth he lived through. He doesn't just recount his experiences, he begins to reveal something far more disturbing. The man talks about how he found his fortune, the unusual ways in which he accumulated wealth. He's not just rich by luck, he's rich because he was clever enough to see what others didn't. The more he shares, the more the group grows uneasy. There's something about the way he speaks, the quiet confidence in his eyes, that begins to unsettle them. And then the unthinkable happens. The man leans forward, and with a chilling calm, he hints at a secret so deep it could topple governments. "I know who's behind this system," he says cryptically. "I know the ones who profit from the oppression you talk about. And I've been using my wealth to expose them." He pauses for effect, letting the weight of his words sink in. "But it's more than just money, you see. It's about control that's been hidden for centuries, built on the backs of people like me." His words are like daggers to the group's comfortable worldview. What starts as a casual conversation about racism turns into something much darker, much more dangerous. And yet, they can't look away. There's something magnetic about the way he speaks, something that makes them realize they're standing at the precipice of a much larger story. But what does he want? Why is he revealing this now? As they press him for answers, he begins to reveal snippets of his plan. He's not just an ordinary man, but a man with a mission. The fortune he's accumulated was never about personal gain, it was always about power, influence, and a much grander scheme. The mystery deepens as he hints at a network of influential people he's connected with, people who share his vision of exposing the global systems of racism that many refuse to acknowledge. But there's a catch: no one can be trusted. The group grows suspicious. Is he telling the truth, or is he weaving a web of lies to manipulate them? His past may be murky, but the suddenness of his rise to power, and the way he seems to know so much, begins to make them question everything they thought they knew about the world. His wealth was not built through conventional means, and his knowledge comes from experiences most people will never have. But just as the tension reaches its peak, a shocking twist completely alters the course of the story. A new character emerges from the shadows, someone whose arrival was hinted at but not fully understood. This character seems to know the man, but their relationship is anything but clear. Are they allies, or do they have their own agenda? And why do they seem so intent on preventing the man from revealing too much? The audience is left in suspense as the new character introduces a whole new layer to the plot. They reveal that the man's fortune and knowledge aren't as powerful as he thinks. There are forces far greater than him, and they are closing in fast. As the stakes continue to rise, the true depth of the man's wealth and the connections he's made is finally revealed. It's not just money he has, it's a network of people, resources, and information that could alter the course of history itself. But the story doesn't end there. Just when the man is ready to make his final move, an even more unexpected twist leaves the audience breathless. The true nature of his fortune, his purpose, and the role of racism in his plans remains a mystery, at least for now. The final scene leaves viewers with more questions than answers. What is the man's ultimate goal? Was he ever truly a victim, or was he always a mastermind playing a much bigger game? And what happens next in the shadowy world he's created? As the screen fades to black, the lingering question remains, will we ever truly know the full story behind the man and his fortune? What happens next could change everything, but for now, the answers are just out of reach. The only thing left to do is wait.